So, Teeth from the year 2007. Stevie has wanted this movie since I started reviewing movies, pretty much. And very simply, it is the vagina with teeth that bites off dicks movie. That is the premise. That's all you need to say. That's what it is. And let's talk about the what? What about Pootie Tang? It's not Pootie Tang. It's a very different movie.
Respect the women.
Respect the women. Okay, if you want to take it down to that base level, sure, it's the same movie. Because respect the women. Yeah, this movie, it was honestly, I went in, and D. Jesus isn't here anymore, I don't think, but D. Jesus said a sentiment that I think a lot of people, like myself, with a dick, we think about this movie, and we think about the premise of this movie, and we get a little bit of the shudders, we get a little bit of the ick, a little bit of we don't like that image of the dick getting cut off. And if you take that and you put it aside, it's a scary concept, and I think, and it's just an unsettling idea to a lot of us folks. But if you could take that idea and you don't think that it's going to be exactly what it is, because it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was very smart, and it was poignant.
He's not on a rampage.
And it was a good feminist movie, and it was a well-written story, and it was just...
the stepbrother was totally hateable.
Yeah, and we'll get into him for sure. But
thinking about that bastard.
But no, yeah, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be like, that was the concept, and it was just going to be dicks getting bit off, and that was all there was going to be to it. But there's a lot more to it than that. The message was really good. The metaphor of her having this vagina with teeth and then sort of pushing everyone away because she doesn't want to hurt anybody, and that's why she's like promoting abstinence. And I really liked the way the movie did that. But let's look at the Rotten Tomatoes, because this is an interesting score, because it's 80% critics, which is very good, and I would actually agree with that score. But then you go to the audience score, and it's 45%, almost half of what the critic score is. And I think that's the disparity here. It's because the general public...
Some insecurity coming?
This is my theory, is that the general public will hear this, and they see... even when they see the movie, all they can get through their brains is the dick's getting bit off. The dick's getting bit off. And if that's all you think about... Sure, yeah, maybe that's gross and you don't like it and you won't like the movie. But if you take all the other elements, the social commentary, the feminist message, it adds to the whole package, and it's really quite entertaining and well thought out. So I think that's why the audience score is so low, because the general public just can't handle a dick biting off movie, and I think that's generally what it is. But you know what?
Well, if that's the attitude, that's like going to see Spider-Man expecting him to be in costume full time, right? He's Peter Parker more than he's Spider-Man.
No, I get exactly what you mean, but when people hear a premise, it's hard for them to get out of their brain what they think it's going to be. And it was hard for me, right? How long did it take me to review this movie? It took me 3 years to review this movie, because
I'm so proud of you.
Because I was afraid to watch it, and I'm glad I did. It was good. Smart, original, and
I'm so proud of you, though.
Thanks, Stevie. I appreciate it. Teeth puts a fresh feminist spin on horror movie tropes. I agree completely with the critics' consensus. Let's read some of the reviews. Let's read the bad ones. As amateurishly made as it is, Teeth runs on a kind of angry distrust toward boys. Well, yeah, that's sort of the fucking message, though, and I think it's not like completely unneeded. In fact, I would say it is needed. I'm not sure I've ever seen rape, incest, or abuse dealt with so vapidly. Wow, that's harsh. Both of these critics, though, guess what gender? Of course, they're both men. And they did.
Yeah, wiener hatters.
And they're like, oh, it's so... I've never seen a worse rape scene. Are you kidding me? There's so many worse rape scenes than this movie.
Fingers. Have you seen Henry?
Or Jack Frost with the fucking snowman's fucking someone with a carrot nose.
That was hilarious, though. The one in Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
But the
actress was in therapy the rest of her life.
No, I know, but I'm saying that this is like at least tasteful in this movie. Because I think they handled it well.
Tasteful rape scene, yes, quite.
Because they have her biting off his dick and they get a comeuppance. That's what I mean. That they don't treat.
Yes.
They don't glorify it. That's what I mean. Whether you view it as a primordial image from the collective unconscious or a practical warning against promiscuity, Vagina Dentata makes an indubitably memorable impression and an ideal premise for a tongue-in-cheek horror movie. That's funny, the way they said that, tongue-in-cheek. That
guy's a virgin.
Jim Emerson? That's who did it.
Yes.
The Chicago Sun.
Jim Emerson is a virgin.
Maybe. He looks like 57, so I don't know, but maybe. You never know. Given
you
how...
saw his word choices?
I like the word choices. They sound smart.
Hug is a virgin.
Indubitably primordial. Anyway, even give a booga.
Your dad's a virgin.
Your dad's a virgin.
Yeah, Hugh is. I should tell him that. Given how thoroughly all the subtext spells out the message, then it seems unnecessary to make the actual text so raw, grotesque, and graphic. Well, I don't know. I think you kind of have to have that grotesque stuff when you have a movie about cutting dicks off with a tooth vagina. I think that you kind of need that, because if you didn't have any of that, then the people that will go to the movie for that don't get that, But then the people that go for that...
They're just mad because it wasn't made for the male gaze.
But this was a positive review, too, so that's weird, but it was only a 2.5.
Oh, okay.
But... yeah, I don't agree. That was weird. I agree. It was weird what they said. I don't agree with them. But let's read one more good review, and then we'll move on to the IMDb page. Teeth works so well and is so original for at least the first half, and it makes the slight fumble near the end zone forgivable. Okay, so they think the ending's a little weak. I think I kind of get what they mean by that, but I didn't mind the ending, because the one thing about the ending, and I think we'll maybe talk about this later too. Is
the ending she's in the car with the old man, or is the ending something else you're thinking of?
No, that's it. That's exactly it. But my problem is
it's not a problem. Got that smile on her face.
No, it's good, and it's not really a problem. But one thing I thought about the ending that I was wondering about is because she was talking about turning herself into the police. And I get that maybe she decided not to, but I would have liked some explanation, like why did she decide not to turn herself in? They don't really discuss that at all. I would have liked a little bit more of that, but it's fine. It's a little bit of a nitpick.
Open for a sequel.
Yeah, well, 2007.
Bracelets.
It's not out of the question, but it was quite a long time ago now. 2007. Almost, what, like...
Brace yourself. It's teeth too. Braces.
Yeah, vagina braces. Okay. Let's
go to a dentist or a gynecologist for that.
Well, in this movie, they go to the gynecologist, but it doesn't end well.
That scene in the movie.
Yeah, this is the scene that
I love the gynecologist scene.
You made me watch this scene before I watched the movie because I was like, I don't want to review this movie. And you're like, at least watch this scene. And then I watched that scene, and I was like, okay. And then now I watched the whole movie. But yeah, let's look at the IMDb page. 5.4 out of 10. Too low. I don't agree.
Yeah.
John Hensley is Brad, the asshole brother-in-law. Dawn is played by Jess Wexler. Is she in other stuff? Let's click on her. She was really good. She did a good job.
I don't recognize her in anything else.
Right?
But yeah, she was great. Dawn.
She is known for Teeth. And also The Good Wife, apparently, which is a show that I've never seen. But it's popular, I think. Chained for Life is, I don't know what that is either, but she's known for that apparently. And The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. And she played Katie Rigby. But so she's doing stuff, but not A-list, but she's doing stuff. So good for her.
Too artsy for us commoners.
Yeah, exactly. She's not in Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't fucking know what she's in. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really recognize, because this is a B movie, so there's not really any big names, and that's fine. Let's look at the
I
box
think all
office.
the actors did great.
Yeah, I do
Dawn
too.
was very relatable, and the stepbrother was a piece of shit, and everyone had it coming,
Yeah, there's a couple moments that are a little wooden maybe, but that's to be expected with a B movie, and I think overall it still did a pretty good job. The box office they don't show the budget, but it grossed $2 million worldwide. So I feel like the budget was probably less than that, but I don't really know. It feels like it probably was, though. The effects aren't, like, they weren't bad, but I don't think that they costed that much money.
I loved all the severed dicks. That was great.
Yeah, the dicks, and I have notes about the dicks, and we'll talk about the dicks in my notes here. But let's actually, in fact,
Tell me about the dicks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where we are. Let's look at the note. Let's talk about it. Oh yeah, I didn't say if anyone has seen Teeth and wants to pop in here with us. I don't know why I did. I just shut him out myself by accident. But I meant
I can do that too.
I meant that's true. I meant to do Discord if people want to check out the Discord. And if you've seen this movie, or even if you haven't and you just want to be angry about it and talk about it, that would be funny. Come talk.
I'm not gonna watch some dick biting movie.
If
I'm a secure man.
If someone wants to bring that perspective in, please feel
I'm
free.
not afraid of anything.
I've never assaulted anyone, but the idea of teeth coming out if I did assault someone is too scary.
Yeah, it's too much.
That's too scary.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch fucking Hostel and Saw 10, but I can't do the dick biting movie.
I spit on your grave, but I won't watch Teeth.
Exactly. Okay, let's
Terrible, horrific murder and assault are one thing, but teeth in my penis, that's too much. Violent, gory deaths, all fine.
Yeah.
Yep, as long as it's happening to chicks.
I know,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
absolutely, yeah. It's ridiculous. I agree. It's dumb. Teeth notes, though. Let's get into the nitty gritty. First note is kid shows dick to sister on front lawn. So this is sister-in-law, but still, or whatever, stepsister. But kid shows, they're on the front lawn. Like, I get they're little kids, so maybe it makes it more okay, but it's still a little weird that they're just like flat. And if they're in the backyard, I think it would be more okay. But they're just straight up in the front yard. He's got his dick out. I don't know. I'm not for it, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I guess.
little boys are bold. That would happen for real.
No, yeah, that's true, and that's what I'm saying is that it's not completely unbelievable, but it's just something that I wouldn't want to do or be associated with personally. And that's fine.
Well, you don't grow up to be a piece of shit, do you?
Oh, well.
Yeah, that kid's clearly had...
Yeah, and that's a good point.
Shit going on before this, like, he's been conditioned to think that this is something he can do.
Yeah, he's a little shitty kid, and that's the whole point of his character. We don't like Brad. Brad is bad. Next note is...
Yeah, mother should eat his dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
Eat his pee-pee, Mom.
Right away, you're like, his dick's gonna get bit later. You know right off the bat it's gotta happen. They may skip over...
Well, he gets his finger bit.
What's that?
When they're on the front lawn, when they're little kids, and he's showing her his and wants to touch hers. Yeah, and then I think maybe he needed stitches. It was so deep, the cut.
Yeah, because she bites the finger, because he goes in, and she bites the finger. But yeah, and that's our first sort of notion of the teeth vagina in the movie. But yeah, my next note is they may skip over teeth-related moment. So there's a lot of time in between where that scene in the bay where the kids, and then where they show Dawn's now in high school. So there's a lot of moments that I think that probably did. Like, what about her going to the doctor and stuff? Like, there would have been moments where people would have noticed the teeth in the vagina in those years, I think, and it's not addressed. So that's just something I wanted to say, but, you know, it's...
Really?
I mean,
I think so.
Her partner later on in life doesn't notice it. I think as long as she's not being assaulted,
but I
as
mean,
long as she's not uncomfortable
right?
No.
But I mean specifically for going to the doctor and getting a checkup. You have to get naked.
No. A lot of girls are totally unaware that they even have a hole until they start their period. This is common.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And to be clear, no doctor my hole until I was over 18.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be unheard.
Vaginal examination is not a thing for young girls.
It can be if there's something going on, but it's not common as part of a routine physical exam.
Okay, but my main point is there's so much time in between that I think something would have happened that would have been noteworthy. There's this a lot of years, so I feel like something would have happened. Maybe it's fine, but yeah, let's move on.
Probably would have.
Just because there's a lot of years, and you never, I don't know, you never know what would have happened. But
considering how much other shit,
it works for the story.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's just something I thought was noteworthy. My next note is nuclear power plant, because they don't directly say it, but you're sort of led to believe that it has to do with the nuclear power plant because they keep showing the puffy smoke.
Because it's the zeros.
Yeah, baby.
And at the beginning of the movie, they have the amoebas or whatever coming for the opening credits, and they show one of the amoebas blowing up the other amoebas, and I think that's sort of being that's the tooth vagina amoeba, and it's taken over. But I don't really. That's what I got from it.
On my way, I got teeth.
That's what I got from that opening sequence, but I could be wrong. Moving on though, you can see Brad. How'd he scare her? So in the scene where he's in the shower and she's in the bathroom, right away I see him you can see him through the see-through door of the shower, and I'm like, she would probably catch on before he jumps out and says, yeah, I'm scaring you. So I just thought that she would be able to notice before he scared her, but it's fine, I guess. Just something I noticed. Old Dawn doesn't look like young Dawn. So this happens in movies all the time, so it's fine. But the little girl doesn't look like the older girl. The hair looks different and stuff. But it's fine. It's different people, obviously, so it's fine. But I just didn't even recognize when they were saying, because they had the three friends at the beginning, and I was like, oh, is Dawn the brunette one? I thought, but no, it was the blonde one. But it's fine. I was confused for a little bit at the start. My next note is man ass and a tip of a penis. They show a little bit of man ass and a tip of a penis. I always make notes of when they show nudity of boobs. So I was like, I always make a note of dick too. But it's not as often though.
Male nudity.
There's not enough male nudity.
Male nudity is so rare.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not even a full dick. It's just the tip for a second, I noticed, in the background. It's like, well,
that's why we love John Carpenter. He's always showing male nipples.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. We need... Well, nipples, I feel like that's more common, but I give more credit to a movie when they show a full dong. I'm like, you know what? You don't see that enough. Good for you for showing full dong. But, but anyway, my next note is bad overdub. There's a part where Dawn's walking through a hallway and she's screaming, but you can clearly tell her mouth isn't moving, and that's fine. That happens in movies. One bad overdub, it's fine. But this was really funny. It was a line that made me laugh really hard because it's so stupid. I haven't jerked off since Easter, when the one guy's trying to have sex with Dawn. That's his argument for raping her, that he hasn't jerked off since Easter. It's so stupid and ridiculous, but that's why it's kind of funny.
That's a you problem.
So jerk off, not rape me.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why when he gets his comeuppance, he he deserves to get his dick ripped off. And my next note is because he gets his dick ripped off, and then he jumps in the water and swims away, and then we find his body later, and that all makes sense. But if, imagine for a second, if you're in that position, wouldn't you try to grab the dick and try to preserve your dick and try to swim away? I don't know, that's what I just think that you would do. But he just leaves the dick sitting there. I don't know. I would try to grab it and try to preserve it, but I don't know. It's
as a treat for the crab.
Yeah, later on. I guess that's why they left it there, right? So they could have that scene with the crab later.
Yeah. Because that was part of the charm of the horror movies in the zeros, is the little gags they peppered in real well.
Yeah, and this does a good job. This was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be, actually.
Repeat visits to the surgeon. What happened to your dick?
Yeah, and some of the things that they start saying are good. And there was a subtle joke about one of the guys that, when they're sewing on the one dick of the guy, one of the surgeons well, he wasn't missing much or something, making a joke that his dick's real small. I thought that was funny. My next note is kids talking in unison is weird. There's a part where Dawn is doing her abstinence spiel or whatever, and this is when she's uncomfortable and not knowing what to say. And all the kids are saying all these Bible verses and shit in unison back at her. And that happens.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
And that happens, and it's real, because I've been to church, so I know that that's something that happens. But it still feels weird that because usually when that happens at church, they have it on the board and they know what they're saying. But they all exactly knew what Bible verse and what to say at that exact time, and I thought that was a little weird. But it is creepy. So that was effective in that way. But I don't think it really made sense. But again, it's fine. Things are allowed to not make sense. To a certain extent. How does she read when she's not looking at the words on the website? So this is part that's definitely a nitpick, because it's kind of mild, but she's reading about the vagina dentata, which is the teeth vagina thing that she has, and she's looking up on a website, she's reading it, and then there's a part where she's reading the words, but she's looking at the picture. And it's just for me watching the movie at that time, it didn't make sense for my brain, because how is she reading the words if she's looking at the picture at that time? So that's just a minor nitpick. It's fine. But it bothered me.
This has a lot of nods to Carrie, right?
What's that? Say again?
Teeth nods to Carrie a lot.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Carrie's looking at her shit in the card catalog index, so they had to update that, right?
Yeah, I see the parallels to Carrie. That totally makes sense. The weird girl everyone's bullying and stuff. The one scene in this movie, when
you learn a word for why you are special. What is the special thing about me? And you kind of focus on that word and find everything you can connected to it.
Yeah.
So that's why she's saying vagina dentata while the picture.
Yeah, but she's reading the article though while reading it too. So that's the part that I mean, is that it felt how is she reading the words while looking at the picture at the same time? But no, I get that it's the vagina dentata.
The internet.
She's figuring out her
MySpace.
Again, it's
2007.
It's a mild nitpick, and it's not that big a deal, but it just bothered me a little bit. My next note is gynecologist knows vagina dentata, and of course they know it. I just thought it was kind of funny that they start yelling that after she bites off his finger. He said, vagina dentata!
Because it's supposed to be more real, I guess.
Yeah, it's real in this universe, anyway, in this movie. My next note is, she takes a pill with a soapy hand. So, I don't know, it's just kind of another nitpick. It's you're in the soapy water of a bath. You could wipe it off or something, and you just, put the soap pill in your mouth, and I don't know, I wouldn't have done it like that, but it's fine. That's again another mild note, but that's something that I felt I didn't like.
She's hardcore.
I guess so. She doesn't give a shit. She'll fucking, and she's also in a mood.
She got teeth in her pussy. She'll take her pill however she wants.
And plus, she's in a mood at that point, so you could argue that that's why she just don't give a fuck. But my next note is clean her up. She fucking spilled wine on her. Because she's like kind of loopy from the pill. And then she spills wine and it gets all over. And then, this guy's an asshole, so he doesn't even fucking clean her up. But I just was mad at him. I was like, fucking clean her up, you a-hole. But my next note is...
You would have been the best high school boyfriend.
Well, exactly. Because, you really hope... You're hoping... At this point in the movie, I'm hoping that this guy isn't awful. Because there's a point in the movie where it's like, oh, maybe this guy's okay. But he's not. He's bad. He's awful. We don't like him. He's terrible. My next note is boobs. Because you do see boobs.
You had it coming.
And my next note is, why would he tell her about the bet? They do this in movies all the fucking time. It's like when you have a bet about a person, you don't want to tell them, and I get that you want to prove to the other guy that you won the bet, but it still is like obviously she's gonna be fucking mad at you. So yeah, I don't know. He's just dumb and we don't like him. That's basically my point there. Can you give us...
Yeah, he was a half-decent guy up to the point where you find out it was all a bet.
All a bet. And plus he's sort of he's drugging her and it's a little bit... But he does ask, so you're like, I don't know, maybe he's okay still. But then at that point you're like, no, he's no good. My next note is, can you give us a moment... And she just doesn't. So yeah, Brad's girlfriend or whatever is in the room, and they're just constantly fucking to metal music all day in smoking bombs. That's all they show them. That's all they do the whole day ever. The dad comes in because he basically is the reason the mom dies, and he's obviously mad at him. So he's like, "Can you give us a moment?" to the girlfriend. And she just doesn't leave. She just sits there. So I was like, I don't know. Why doesn't she go? But my next...
What kind of standards are you going to put on the girlfriend of the villain?
Yeah, that's the thing. Although she seems like a better person because she at least has remorse at the end for the mom. So she's maybe not good, but she's better than Brad.
Yeah, I don't hate her. I just don't expect much from her.
Yeah, and that's fair. My next note, and we already talked about this a little bit, but why doesn't she go to the cops? Because she said she's going to go to the cops, but then I guess she obviously, something in her's I don't fucking want to go to the cops. I'm going to keep cutting off dicks, and maybe this will lead to a sequel.
Yeah!
Or whatever. But that's all my note is that I would have liked her to come to that realization and tell us, and be like, you know what? Fuck the system. And fuck men, and fuck the police. I'm not going to turn myself in. I would have liked a scene like that. But that's okay.
That's why the ending is there, though.
Yeah.
You can see that look on her face. The old man's making creepy at her, and she's like, all right, I'll play. I'll cut off your dick, Grandpa.
And yeah, obviously, that makes sense that's what's decided at that point. But I still wish that they would have told us that, beforehand, this is why... I'm not going to the cops. But that's okay. Brad's afraid of vagina and still fucks Don. So Brad, because he's only banging his girlfriend up the butt, it seems like. Because he's afraid of vaginas because he got bit by Don's vagina on his finger. This is what I gather. But yet he's still, and I guess to be fair, they do start. He tries to turn Dawn around to bang her from behind, but then she's like, "No, you got to go through the vagina because I'm gonna bite your dick off." She doesn't say that, but that's what she's thinking. So I guess honestly, on hindsight, it makes enough sense. I think I'm fine with it. Because he does try to bone her up the butt, but she convinces him no, you gotta do it like this, and then she kills him, which we want to see because he's basically the main villain of the movie.
Is stuff like second base for straight people?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I've never. I'll be honest right now. I've never done it. That's just not me. But, to each their own.
How does this stepbrother guy get into an arrangement where it's just butt stuff?
Well, they even have that scene where the girlfriend... The girlfriend is, not happy about it. She's like, fuck my pussy. And he's like, no.
Yeah, like a real man.
Basically. And he's just like, no. And then plays with his dog. But yeah. This movie's good, though. I did enjoy this. So yeah, that explains it. That was my last note. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. It was smart. It was funny. There's a couple things that didn't make sense to me, but that's fine. And almost every movie has stuff like that. But I'm going to give it 8. I liked it. 8 out of 10. It's smart. It's funny. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. 8 out of 10. 10, it's Citizen Kane. That's fair. I know it's one of your favorites. Teeth, 8 out of 10 ducks.
I'm hopping. Good night.
Okay,
I'll be back in text chat.
Yeah, okay, I'll see you there. Thanks, Stevie.